Good afternoon. I'm absolutely delighted to bring greetings on behalf of the faculty and staff to the class of 2011, your families and friends. None of us can quite believe that this day has arrived and that within another week, you have left all of us behind to live once again with your family. I'm sure that your family will be as thrilled to have you home as we are to see you leave. Can I start by making a confession? Don't be nervous, Rick. I was shocked when I received the news that I had been selected to bring these greetings. Ever since then, I've been trying to figure out the selection criteria you used. And I'm happy to report that I think I've cracked it. Here's my hypothesis. Selection criterion 1, someone who doesn't answer email. Selection criterion 2, someone who doesn't speak native English. And finally, selection criterion 3, someone who flies off the handle. I can see now why I was the natural choice. We're a small school dominated by small numbers. There are 88 students in the class of 2011. In 2015, we'll have graduated a total of roughly 800 students. The School of Engineering at Arizona State University will graduate more than that this year alone. How on earth can such a small number of students from such a small school have a noticeable impact on the world? Well, let me tell you about another small place whose graduates have gone on to do some remarkable things. In fact, the historian Arthur Herman suggests that these graduates have gone on to invent the modern world. Let me pick out a few of these in categories that we know and love. In engineering, Robert Thomson for inventing the vulcanized rubber pneumatic tire. James Watt for perfecting the steam engine. And Alexander Graham Bell for inventing the telephone. In mathematics and science, James Clerk Maxwell for a couple of contributions to electromagnetism. Sir Alexander Fleming for the discovery of penicillin. And John Napier for inventing logarithms. Not sure why that's funny. In entrepreneurship, sorry this list is so short, but the best I could come up with is Andrew Carnegie. And finally, in arts, humanities, and social sciences, David Hume for contributions to philosophy, John Witherspoon for contributions to education as president of Princeton, and Sean Connery for contributions to acting, along with Ewan McGregor, and probably the most famous Scottish actor of all time, Mel Gibson. Freedom! As I've clearly proved, size doesn't matter. We may be small, but we can do a lot. Maybe you're starting to wonder about the range of accomplishments we can expect from the class of 2011. I was, so I decided to ask the people who raised you, who wiped your runny nose, who listened to your endless crying and whining. That's right, I asked the faculty and staff of Olin College. Here's what they said about the future exploits of the class of 2011. One of you will build an autonomous tree-climbing vehicle, but will not get a patent because you didn't submit the paperwork in time. One of you will earn a Ph.D. not recorded as text on either paper or digital media. Instead, you will be the first graduate to sing their thesis. When the next economic recession devastates the country, one of you will use set theory to prove that it isn't really happening. One of you will make a fortune with a design for a new armchair in which you sit on one arm and place your feet on the seat. One of you will design a great user interface for skydiving through the cloud. One of you will create a social networking game for the lucrative small engineering school market. And if any of you find yourself surrounded by velociraptors, you know what angle to run at to maximize the time you stay alive. Now, I promised when I collected these that I would not identify the specific student associated with each prediction. But for you soon-to-be graduates, if you look under your chair, you'll find a folded piece of paper. I guess you'll have to figure it out yourselves. Whatever it is that you go on to do, I think you should realize that the faculty and staff are already proud of you. In fact, I'll go further. As a parent of a young child, let me just say that I will be proud indeed if my son turns out like any of you. And please remember that you're Neawa Tabaitawa. We expect you to come back and see us. Good luck.